Hello, I came to Haebangchon in Seoul. Haebangchon is a neighborhood located just west of Itaewon. Since it is very close to Itaewon, people who visit Itaewon also come to see Haebangchon. This neighborhood has many houses densely packed on the hill. The reason why this residential complex was built on this hill is because of the Pacific War. After Japan lost the war, Korea immediately became independent. Koreans who had been living in exile abroad returned to their home country. However, there was no more housing space in Seoul, where the city had already been formed. Eventually, they built houses on the hill where no one lived. That is why it was called Haebangchon. The meaning of the name Haebangchon is a village created after liberation. It's related to what I mentioned earlier. There is another reason why Haebangchon was formed as a residential complex on a hill. Another reason is the ideological conflict between communism and capitalism. Korea, which gained independence from Japan, was immediately divided into the South and the North. People who hated communism in the North also fled to the South in large numbers. Likewise, the only place they could live was this place built on a hill. That is why Haebangchon was a neighborhood where poor people lived. It was in the 2000s that the once poor neighborhood became known as a tourist attraction. Haebangchon, like Itaewon, is a neighborhood right next to the Yongsan U.S. base. Itaewon was a neighborhood where foreign cultures were established due to the influence of the U.S. military. It gradually expanded and influenced Haebangchon. The street I am walking on now is a street of foreign restaurants. I can see Namsan Tower in the distance. It's very close to Namsan from here. It's about a 30-minute walk away. Among Korean dramas, there's Itaewon Class. There's a famous drama about a Korean youth who opens a restaurant in Itaewon and becomes self-made. The restaurant that the youth opened is in Haebangchon. Strictly speaking, the title of the drama should have been Haebangchon Class, not Itaewon Class. The street I'm walking on now is the street below the hill in Haebangchon. It's where various kinds of restaurants from different countries have opened. It feels like a small version of Itaewon's main street. However, the atmosphere on the hill and the one below the hill are completely different, so Haebangchon has its own charm. There is also Gyeongridongil Street in Itaewon that you can go up the hill, but it's not as attractive as Haebangchon. The sidewalks are really narrow. I guess it can't be helped because it wasn't a planned neighborhood. There are a lot of people living here, but the streets themselves are very narrow. The main road on the hill is especially terrible. There are almost no parking lots, so you have to use public transportation. You'll see people and cars tangled up later. Haebangchon is currently a neighborhood with many foreign residents, just like Itaewon. Due to the influence of the nearby U.S. military base, a foreigner-friendly culture has taken root, and foreigners living in Korea find it comfortable to live here. Most Koreans have Asian faces, but this neighborhood is a place where people of various races coexist. Although not as much as Itaewon, you can often see foreigners. If you look to the right, you will see the white restaurant Via de Bleu. It is a famous restaurant in southern Italy selling Amalfi-style cuisine. It is famous for its cheese waterfall lasagna and octopus dish. The owner of the restaurant said that he opened the restaurant because he was so impressed by Amalfi during his trip to Italy. If you look to the right, you can see people waiting. That place is also a famous restaurant. It's called Taco Stand. It's a place that sells authentic Mexican-style tacos in Korea. It's a restaurant that Latin Americans also recognize. The intense flavor of the spices is impressive. The pink shop we passed on the left is also a famous sandwich restaurant. It's called Casablanca. A Moroccan who has lived in Korea for over 10 years sells Moroccan-style sandwiches. It's a really old restaurant. If you look to the right, you can see people waiting in line at the restaurant. It's called the Jacobi Burger. It's a burger that's stacked like a tower and called the Gut Destruction Burger. In the big US, this kind of burger would be common, but not in Korea. I ordered and ate the Gut Destruction Burger there before. Everyone at the tables around me looked at me. I remember being surprised at how big the hamburger was at that time. The restaurant on the right is a steakhouse called Ragu. As the name suggests, it is famous for its Italian ragu dish. Meat sauce pasta is called ragu in Italy. If you look to the left, you will see Raw Burger Shop. It is a place that sells authentic American-style hamburgers. It is a relatively new restaurant, but it is getting a good response. You can see that there are many different types of restaurants on this street. The restaurants I have introduced are only a small part of them. The competition in the Korean restaurant industry is very fierce. There are about 670,000 restaurants in Korea. The total number of restaurants in the United States is about 680,000. You can see how many restaurants there are in Korea, which has only 1/6 the population of the United States. The probability of a newly opened restaurant surviving for 5 years is 22%. Consumers have very high standards because the competition is fierce. That is why restaurants located in major hot places in Korea are guaranteed basic taste and service. We are getting closer to the Namsan Tower in front. If you walk to the left, there is a path that goes up to Haebangchon Hill. You can walk up, but I recommend taking the bus. The slope is steep and you will sweat when you reach the top. This is also a place where running crews gather on weekends. There are many people who run up to the Namsan Tower in front. I'll take the path you see on the right. I'll take the left path that goes up the hill later. If you look straight ahead, there is a tunnel that looks like a cave. If you go in there, you can go to Itaewon. It is connected like this because there is a large road above. After passing through the tunnel, you will come to a residential area, so if you are just visiting, there is no reason to go in. Currently, I have walked along a straight road for about 8 minutes from the entrance of Haebangchon. This time, I will go to Haebangchon Skyview on the hill. This is the top of Haebangchon Hill. If you climb these stairs, you can see the view of Seoul. Isn't it beautiful? There are many restaurants and cafes on the hill. The store of the Korean drama Itaewon Class is also nearby. Namsan Tower is very close behind me. The restaurant you see right in front of you also has tables on the rooftop. There are a lot of people there, especially at night. The night view of Seoul from Haebangchon is really beautiful. Many people take pictures with Namsan Tower in the background, and also with the view of the city of Seoul in the background. I'm currently at the top of Haebangchon Hill. This time, let's go to the hottest place, Shinheung Market. If you come down from the top for just 1 minute, you will come across this intersection. This is the most congested area in the neighborhood. People and cars are seriously entangled here. You have to walk carefully because there are no traffic lights. To get to the Shinheung Market, you have to walk down the downhill road in front. As you climb up the hill of Haebangchon, you can see more people than below. I also like the top better than the bottom, because you can see the view of the city of Seoul. If you look to the left, you will see the entrance to the Shinheung Market building. It is dark, so you cannot see the inside very well. But if you go in there, you will find a surprising space. It's a really cool secret space, isn't it? The old building and the transparent roof are impressive. This was a market that was formed when the Haebangchon neighborhood was formed. Originally, it was a space with a slate roof that didn't let any sunlight in. It was a market where the locals bought daily necessities. But now, as the secret hideout-like space has become popular, young people have started to flock there. Just by changing the roof, the once dark and gloomy atmosphere of the area has completely changed into a place full of energy for young people. I'm leaving Shinheung Market. I'm coming out through the exit opposite the entrance I came in through. I came out. If you look to the right, you can see the church. And on the left, you can see Namsan Tower. We just looked around Shinheung Market. This time, let's start from the intersection again and walk to the Haebangchon Church road we just saw. Behind me is the intersection on the hill. You can also see Namsan Tower behind me. This road is where the restaurants, fruit shops, etc. that are mainly used by residents rather than visitors to Haebangchon are located. You can see the steeple of the Haebangchon Church in the distance in front. That church is the tallest building in this neighborhood. The church on top of the hill reminds me of Montmartre Hill in Paris, France. This is Haebangchon seen from the bottom of the hill. Can you see the church standing tall in the distance? That church didn't exist when Haebangchon village was first formed. They pitched a tent and used it as a chapel. The poor believers of the church came together to raise funds to build a sturdy church, and it was built in 1996. It was completed in time for the 50th anniversary of the church's founding. The scenery of this road is really unique. You can see some very old shops and some relatively new shops. There are shops that are aimed at residents and shops that are aimed at visitors. If you look to the right, you will see a staircase leading down a narrow alley. That is the entrance to the Shinheung Market. That is where I came out of the Shinheung Market earlier. Looking at the church up close, it seems to be built very solidly. Even if the old houses around it collapse, it seems like the church will not collapse. If you look to the right, there is a staircase going downhill. I can feel that I am on a hill. My current location is in front of the Haebangchon Church. Now, finally, I will go and see the 108 Hanul Stairs. It is located in the west direction of Haebangchon. The 108 Hanul Stairs were built by the Seoul Metropolitan Government for the convenience of its residents. It is the first elevator built for citizens with the budget of the Seoul Metropolitan Government. The history of these stairs dates back to the Japanese colonial period. Originally, the western area of Haebangchon was the site of the Gyeongseong Patriotic Shrine. It was a memorial shrine for Japanese soldiers who died during the Pacific War. The Yongsan U.S. military base was previously used as a Japanese military base. After Japan's defeat in the Pacific War, Haebangchon became an abandoned land and the shrine disappeared without a trace. The only thing that remains is the 108 stairs. Originally, they were stairs leading up to the memorial platform. If you climb the stairs to the 4th floor, you will reach the top of Haebangchon Hill. You can see the tall buildings standing tall in the distance. That is where Seoul Station is. It is the area where office buildings are densely located around Seoul Station. This concludes my Haebangchon tour. Thank you for watching the video.